Sorry I'm late. It's been chaos over here. Okay, but I'm here now. I'm ready to do some Giselling. So, hi Anessa. Right, I am just going to be cutting this out as I'm waiting for you all to join me here. Soon we should see that the lovely Alex is online. Hi Sarah, hi Lorianne, oh hi Fiona. Lots of lovely names. Alex is there, she's there. So we did put a little mention up on Instagram stories to say I'm running late because I was like, I'm still cutting this out. No hairband today, sorry. I've gone. It's a little bit choppy there. Yes, I'm still cutting this out at 11:45. Quarter to 1. So just doing my notches. So guys, we're here to sew the newest addition to the Sew Over It pattern collection, the Giselle, which I am wearing. I'll just show you. You can't really see much of the length, but it's got a little slit at the front. And so this was released, the general release was last week, and we thought it'd be nice to have it as the sew-along this week. So all the details for the pattern, as in where to get it from if you're watching this after the live, are in the description box below, and Alex has just popped a link to it just now. As always, all of our sew-alongs are free. We want to make sure everyone can have a go at this, and therefore we don't ask anyone to pay, but if you are in a position to donate and you think what I'm telling you is worthwhile, because let's say, last week it wasn't, we just giggled for an hour, then yeah, Alex has just popped up the link there for our coffee page, and you can buy us a coffee at the end if you want to. And just Rosie does report on our figures every week on how well we're doing as a company. We've always done that, and she also now adds in the donations, and they really are making a difference. So thank you so much to all of you who have given so far. So if you have any questions, Alex is there to answer them. It's very difficult for me, as you see, to answer questions whilst I'm trying to sew. And Sarah's kindly said she'll be stepping down in the support for this week. So if you didn't see last week's, we were making the Sylvia robe, and I forgot to look at the instructions. Not on the first one, on the second one, and I completely forgot the order, and then we had a team effort of trying to work it out. And yeah, I think we just all got very confused, and then I got the uncontrollable giggles. Oh dear. Right. Okay, so we're going to start with the bodice. I do have the instructions up on my laptop there, so as this is a new pattern, we want to be careful that I do know what I'm doing for this one. So we're going to start with the bodice. That's the first bit that we need to do, and I'm just going to get myself some chalk, because we're going to need to mark those darts. So make sure that your notches, thanks Sal. Not educational, but hilarious. So we're going to start with the notches. I was going to say the darts. There's no darts in the sleeve, guys. Just checking. So I am going to mark into, so I'm just making a little hole in the dart point there, and then I'm just going to mark that through, and then I can show you and reveal the fabric. And then I put the pin through, and on the other side I'm marking it. So I've marked, you can see there, and I will mark through that hole. Check that before you take everything off, just check your pins. Just realised those were my pin dish. All your notches are cut in. Okay, that's that. This is my fabric. Gorgeous, eh? Also navy, so I realised that it's quite similar to the one that I've got, But this I would like, I wear both of them with trainers, like little white pumps, but this to me feels like it's a little bit, oh, there's only about 20 centimetres of this left. Oh my gosh, 20 centimetres, 20 metres. I was like, who's gonna make a dress out of 20 centimetres? But yeah, it's lovely weight of viscose and it's really lovely quality. And by checking that, if you crease it, viscose always does crease a little, but look how little it's creased. We did actually order this for the culottes, but I said, oh, actually, let's hold back because I think it's perfect for the Giselle as well. And I'm not sure what the stock is currently of the one that I'm wearing. Maybe Alex can find that out for us. But this one is, I'll just move my necklaces around. This does come in other colours. I've got a Bonnie dress in it in pink and I love it. Love, love, love it. Right, I'm just marking the 2 darts now in the front. You'll also notice, guys, I've got a new well, you won't notice. You may have noticed. I've got a new necklace on. My mum has bought my sister and I both the little hummingbird necklaces from Alex Monroe. Alex Monroe is where my scissors are from. And I've really wanted this as a kind of present to myself over the past year to mark this new kind of, I often buy jewellery to mark new chapters or to mark something. So I think I bought the scissors necklace when I had just got my second book was published. So anyway, I really wanted to get myself a necklace to mark the fact that I've moved into the house and it's, you know, new start. And the reason why I wanted to get this one is because when I'm happy, I hum. And you guys will know that because I hum a lot in the Sewalong, don't I? And so I thought, you know, I'm very happy now. Hummingbird. However, it's quite vicious, it's lovely, but it is quite pointy. So it's not great for cuddling Jazzy. But anyway, she knows that it can be a bit sharp. Right, I'm just going to, I'm talking, I've gone and taken the rest of those pins off, which was a bit silly. I'm just going to mark that other dart, back of that one. So often the first thing you do in a dress which has got darts is you do the darts. It's like often the main first step that you do when you're dressmaking is sew all the darts in before you do anything. It's much easier to sew them into flat pieces of fabric before it's been joined. How's Jasmine today? She is good. She is not sleeping, but she is with the babysitter. The babysitter came around yesterday. She was lovely and they played upstairs for the whole time. I had to go and get her and be like, okay, I quite like to talk to Adele. Just call Adele. Jasmine was really reluctant to set her free from her bedroom. But yeah, that's good. It's a massive help for me. But that is a bit whilst I'm late because I asked her to come just at 12:30. And so yeah, until then I had mummy. Yes, Jasmine. That's a bit dirty on the floor there. Yes, Jasmine. Oh, okay. We're all marked. Fab. So let's put in our dart. So I'm gonna, because I've just finished with that, let's start with the center front, the front bodice. I'm going to line up my darts here. So, my notches at the side there, placing it right sides together. And I'm going to pop the pin in at that point. And then I'm going to find the point of the dart where I marked through with the chalk and make sure that that goes there. Some more. It's quite bouncy, this viscose. It will press nicely, I'm sure, but it's a bit bouncy at this point. So that's that dart. I think I'll do the other bust dart first. So the darts here are called your bust darts and the darts here are your waist darts. chalk? Is that him? No. That's a second, guys. I've lost the chalk marker. That's for that one. I need to check that. Let's just see what that is, because it doesn't look very obvious to me that that is the chalk. Probably should have used a slightly brighter colour. Well, I couldn't find my yellow. Still everything is missing. All my different components of everything. I keep losing things. It took me about half an hour to find my diary this morning. Guess that's part of moving, isn't it? Still trying to get everything organised. So, notches together there. Get that point on the fold, on the edge there. Pop a pin in there. And there. Now, ruler. Don't think I've got a ruler. So I'm going to do it without a ruler, but I recommend doing it with a ruler. I'm just going to put a few pins in. So if you're going to mark it with a ruler, you can mark it before you pin it, and so you have two lines to line up, but often I sort of go halfway and I just mark it from the notch on one side down to the point. But today it looks like I'm not doing anything. Alex, who I'm sure will answer that, but yes, it should be relatively easy to shorten or lengthen this bodice. You've just got to get the bit in between with the darts. You might have to move darts and things, but yeah. It's it's what I would call a block bodice. It's very classic in that it's got bust darts, it's got waist darts. So if you can get the fit of this right, you'll probably find that you can then use that bit almost to kind of go with other things. So say you have something very similar to this, but it's got a different neckline, then you could trace off the neckline onto this pattern and use this and change the armholes and stuff. I certainly think that I'd love to put different skirts on this bodice. It'd be really good for that. It's a bit like a Betty in that it's really simple. And if you have a look at the hashtag that we've got for it on Instagram, you'll see some versions that our pattern testers have made, or rather pattern insiders, and you'll see that a lot of them are quite worky, but I still think that I would wear this. I mean, obviously it's worky, but I would really wear this you know, as a casual dress as well, and I really want to make one in a chambray, like a denim. Or even a denim, I guess it could, but I think the split would be a bit funny, so I think chambray would be better because you'll have a bit more drape in it, and it does really need drape in the fabric. So I still haven't ordered the chambray that I was going to order last week. Oh my goodness, what was it for? You guys sent me all those lovely... Oh, thanks, Alex has just put the link up. Let's just, sorry, back to this, let's reverse at the beginning of our dart. And I'm heading to here. So I'm doing this by sight, which I don't recommend. I mean, it's fine to do it, but it's harder. You have to concentrate a bit more, and it's not foolproof like if you mark it. Don't reverse at the end of the dart, just cut it off, create a knot, and tie the two ends together, and push that knot down towards the fabric so that it's nice and close to that. If you've been watching my sew-alongs throughout this period, there are other versions where I talk through that in a bit of a slower fashion. Yeah, so, oh, that's right. Loving your cup. Oh, thanks. This is Lucy Tiffany from Debenhams, and I don't know if they still have it there because I know Debenhams is sort of gone into administration. But I've got a lot of her things for the house. I bought some cake tins that I've got the animals' food in, and not cakes, tea towels. But yeah, I love this. It's very like Anthropology. I really, really would love to do a range of ceramic stuff because I love patterned plates and mugs and things, and the only place I know to get them is Anthropology, like really beautifully hand painted ones. So watch this space, add it to the list. Probably in about 5 years' time I'll get around to that. So let's now push that knot down to the, ooh, he's trying to tighten. No, Mr. Knot. Oh, saved. So trim that off. So leave about 1 centimetre of the thread when you're trimming it off. Oh, I need to trim off my ends there. I've also got, look, guys in the States might not, or Australian international folk might not know of these, but I've got some munchies. Oh, so good. Have you heard of munchies outside of the UK? I always used to think they looked like little Aztec chocolates because of the, I don't know why, you know, like the thing. Oh, they're so nice. So basically, can't really see there, can you? But it's caramel and there's a little circular biscuit in the middle. We're very good at chocolate and biscuits in this country. Okay, away starts. Who makes them? I think they're made by Nestle now. Or maybe, is it the Mars company? Yeah. Okay. Sorry, guys. Oh, thank you. What size am I wearing? I am wearing a size 8 on top and then graded out to a 10 for the hips. So my hips in terms of this way are still probably an 8, but it's this bad boy that is a 10. And my bust has actually grown a bit. My boobs have started to come back in lockdown, which I was very pleased about. So my bust is a little bit tight for an 8, but this fabric gives a bit, so it's fine. So yes, and I didn't do any lengthening or shortening. Oh, we've had confirmation. Munchies are Nestle. Right, let's just see. That's it there. So yeah, I haven't run. I think like the running didn't help the bust. I think because I haven't run for almost a month now, although I'm planning on running this week. Yeah, definitely slightly bigger. I have to say I'm enjoying being curvy again. Oh, I love them. But I remember as a child, they always used to be a lot more expensive, so I never used to get them. You know, you could get a Mars bar for 30p. Munchies were always like 42p or something. Another one done. And the last way start on the front. So after we've done this, we're then going to move on to the back and do the darts, and then we'll do all the pressing together. Yes, you're right. It does remind you of a vending machine. I think that's why I knew the difference in prices, because in the vending machine there were always more. And they used to come in a tube. I don't know if they still do, but or a packet, a bit like Rolos, but they now come in a big sharer bag, which is what I've got, and it's very dangerous. I love how they always call them sharer packs, because you don't share them, do you? Okay. So that's the front done. I'll just hold it up so you can see what you should have. Bust starts and waist starts. Okay. So I'm very lucky that I very rarely faff around with bust darts or waist darts. Back darts here around I often do because of I'm quite flat above my bottom and it's long, and then the bum comes out, and so that needs a bit more attention. But yeah, if you're someone that needs to do adjustments, you do need to probably make a toile of this, just because it's just because it is so close fitting. So I'd recommend doing a toile. Okay. So I've got that dart, pointed the pin on the end there of the dart, and then we'll do the same here. So what I'm hoping that we'll get through today is we will get through the bodice, as in sewing the bodice up. There is quite a bit of overlocking that we need to do. We keep all the edges overlocked singularly, so it does take a bit longer. And then I think as homework, I'm going to suggest overlocking the skirt seams, again because they're separate and it's a panel dress, so there's lots of them. And then maybe even sewing some of them together. So then tomorrow we can be joining the bodice and the skirt together, and then we can do the zip and the neckline. I don't think we're going to get to do the sleeves, but I think definitely I want to make sure I'm doing the neckline with you though, because that's bias bound, the way that it's finished, so it's a good thing to be able to see how it's done. Okay. So again, doing this by eye, but this is a much longer dart in the back bodice and it's narrower. Do have to be able to visualise the grade of it, otherwise you end up with the dart's far too big at the top. You can see. Next one. Last dart, guys. Missed a little bit there. I'm just going to just made that a little bit too narrow. I don't know why, but the notch didn't start where the notch is, so I'm just going to do that. Oh, thanks, Sal. Okay. Right. So we're now going to press. Let me get the iron in shot. Iron. I don't know why. Oh, it's because he's not turned on. Sorry guys, we've got this snazzy extension extension lead with little switches on it. Right, you can't still see. Let's pull this in. Okay. Kind of see, can't you? Kind of see. This iron does not beep at me, Lorianne. No. And I have to say, I'm not missing that other iron. I know it was like fun that it beeped, but it was so annoying. Like you just leave it there and then it'd be like beep, beep, beep. Wouldn't stop, would it? Right, let's start with the back because we've just finished those. We are going to be pressing those towards the centre back. So centre back is often straight edge. I do look pale today. I'm very tired. I was up at 5:30 with Jasmine, and she also was up in the night. Fair dues, it's her first night in her big girl bed and a new house. So, and I think it's all caught up on me, but I haven't got lipstick on, or dark lipstick, so that always makes me look more pale. But yeah, in the team meeting today, the team, Nicole was like, I think you need to take an afternoon off. I was like, I would love to. Not going to happen though. So yeah, I'll put more lipstick and makeup on tomorrow, guys. I'll look better. Right, pressing that towards the centre back again, and then just come over to the front and just make sure that you haven't got any overhang. The house is coming along very well, thank you. We are, Jazzy and I, as if she's helped me unpack. Pretty much I'm all unpacked, but yeah, I now just want to be, it's been a very full-on few months. But anyway, I'll catch up eventually. Right, so we are going to now do the bodice, the front bodice, and these are going to go down towards the waist, and these are going to go in towards the waist. Now, as I was just quickly reading through the instructions, so I've made this once, the one that I'm wearing I made, and as I just texted Nicole to be like, why are they, so we're saying to press these in towards the centre front, because normally you don't press these in, and that's just what Julie had said, and so we're not quite sure, but I'll find out for tomorrow, because normally you do press them outwards. It might be just to do with going onto a panelled skirt, I'm not sure. I'm not sure, but yeah. No, we haven't, Susan. We have not found them. I know, I keep forgetting to ask Rosie what's happening there. Very upsetting. And what I'm hoping is all these things will eventually turn up as, you know, courier services and Royal Mail get themselves back on track. But at the moment, they're clearly still very much inundated. So there's probably a pile of lost orders somewhere. Right, I'm just going to turn these over and do them properly from this side. Oh, it's lovely, this colour. It is really lovely. And I did think, actually, that I'd wear this in the autumn. Because it is quite autumnal, the colours I've chosen here. But it's lovely, isn't it? Okay. Right, now we are going to do some overlocking. Let me just check that it is all the pieces I think it is. Let me just put my password into my computer. Yes. Shoulders, waist of the front piece, and then the same of the back. So we're going to do a lot of overlocking, guys. Now, unfortunately, I did have just about a chance to do the threading on my machine, but not on my overlocker. So, anyone? I'm going to do that with you. Sorry that I'm not doing it. Anyway, not as prepped as I could be. I also realised I don't have my overlocking presser foot, so just bear with me. Oh gosh, picture frames falling everywhere, guys. Right. Got it. these on. Oh. Oh yes, they did, the radiator colours, yes. Obviously the one behind me is not coloured, but the one in the hallway, I actually got that resprayed because it came back first and it did look like a radiator from Disney. So it's a little bit too bright. But then in the bedroom, it's Mustard and Jasmine's bedroom, and then the one in my bedroom, I've got exactly the same colour as the walls. So yeah. We shall be getting round doing tours and various things, but not quite yet. Ooh. Okay, let's see. I think I remember this in the journey down. The spools just fell off the overlocker, and I just cut them when I was unpacking the car. So I'm hoping they're still mainly attached, so that I should be relatively easy to thread it. So this Friday, guys, we're filming lots more for the Stitch School, which is exciting. So yeah, Rosie and I will be doing that on Friday with our wonderful videographer Eugene. So yeah, those of you that are not yet members of Stitch School, you might be tempted to join after we add the few things that we're going to, and there'll be 2 new patterns as well. So 2 new projects that will come as part of the £5 membership. So yeah, really pleased that we're getting back into the swing of that. And the idea is that we'll do filming for Stitch School every month or so. Becca, when she'll be back, should be helping me out with that. So Becca's still on maternity leave, but as you all know, she's a wonderful online tutor and comes across very well and clear on TV, or rather on screen. So when she's back, she'll be also bringing stuff back to the table. But yeah, she's not back yet. Not back yet. But yeah, she's got a very, very knowledgeable technical skill set, Becca. So yeah, looking forward to having her back. Ooh. That's gone. Past optimum temperature. Right, let's get this threaded. So when you're threading an overlocker like this, you can basically thread it to the point that the lower loop threads will just thread through, even with the little knots on them. But I find that you can't really do that on the needles. So I rethread it until the point that the knots hit the needles, and I've only got 1 needle in at the moment because I've been stitching it with, ever since I did the scrubs, I've been sewing it with 3, using just 3 threads, not 4. That's all done. Right, so shoulder seams, let's do those first. I've got my front bodice here, and remember, because we're doing them before we've sewn our seams, we mustn't trim off any excess or any seam allowance. Guys, sorry Sal, but there won't be any sew crates with this table. This is my new dining table, and it's oak and incredibly solid and heavy. So basically, I'm in the sort of dining area, but it's basically conjoined with the living room. And this is a small terrace, Victorian terrace house, so the rooms are quite small. And so really, I probably should, Jazzy and I don't need a big dining table, but I was like, well, I need one for sewing. So it's about 180 long, and I'm so pleased with it. It's perfect. So it'll be my sewing table, cutting table, live sew-along table. So I'm just doing the side seam now. And the other side seam. so we're doing, oh, we're meant to do the waist seams actually, aren't we? Yeah. Yeah. We'll do the waist. So let's go on the front. I'm going back to the front and just doing this waist. Make sure when you're overlocking that your darts are still pressed and being stitched in the direction that they were pressed in. So in this instance I'm at the waist here, so I need to make sure that they're still pressing inwards towards the centre front. Okay. So I'm now doing the centre back edge of one of the bodices. I'm now then going to do the waist edge, one of the back bodice pieces. Again, make sure your dart is staying in the position you pressed it in. I'm going to do the side seams, pretty much doing all the straight edges. Oh no, we are getting there. And then the short seams. Okay. We're doing side seam, we're doing shoulder seam, waist, bottom of the waist, and then centre back. Swap these over. So I'm now just going to trim off all of my ends of my overlocking. Like so. Okay. Got a little bit of stretching. I'm just going to press it. I'm hoping that that will just flatten it. But you can see here that it's just a little bit wibbly wobbly. Hoping it's more than just the tension of the overlocking thread that's created that. Yeah, that's absolutely fine. It's just the tension of the thread. So that's that done. Whoops. Let's just do this. That's pressing nicely. Oops. Suddenly feeling hot. I think it's having the iron on right next to me. Okay, so excuse me, we are now going to go and join the shoulder seams of the front and the back bodice pieces. So we're going to take them and place them right sides together. So here's my front going on my back like that. Make sure that you've definitely got your back the right way around and you're not getting an armhole in the neckline position or vice versa. Okay, there might be a little bit of easing for the back. So you might find, I think there's a very slight amount, if I recall, that if you can just see there, you see that? The back is slightly longer at the shoulder seam. It just needs to be eased in a smidgen. So just maybe use a few more pins than you normally would. And then same on this one. Whoopsie daisy. Whoop-the daisy. It's a bit more obvious actually. I'm having to pin from the back shoulder seam side because the easing's a little bit bigger, a bit more generous on there. Nothing though that can't be just eased in with pins. I'll just transfer these now across. So that they're on this side. Okay. Right, so let's now sew those together. Now our seam allowance is 1.5 centimetres or 5/8 of an inch, whichever's easiest for you to follow. Oi! The leads, it's like spaghetti junction down here. I didn't take those off, am I? No, I'm not. My eye looking tired. There we go. Oops. That was the tea. Oops. Right. So as long as you've pinned this shoulder seam really thoroughly, you shouldn't get any issues with pleating or anything. And ideally you do want to sew from the side that's got the more volume, but it's not really that much difference, so I'm not really concerned about that. So make sure you reverse at the beginning and at the end of those seams. Let's trim our threads off as we go. And we're going to press those seams open, I do believe. Oh, there's a lot of threads gathering up on here. Okay. I have to say I'm already loving how quickly I can whiz round the downstairs in this house with my Dyson. Whoosh. Just a bit obsessive, I just keep doing it. Sorry Jasmine, yes I can get you dinner, I'm just going to do the Dyson for another 5th time. Right, so we're going to press those now open. Oh gosh, I just had a panic because I just flipped that onto the ironing board and I was like, what have I done? Nothing, it's fine. Thought I'd done a right side to a wrong side or something had gone wrong there. Okay, so that's our shoulder seams done. So now we can go onto our side seams. These are pretty standard size seams. So and then I'm going to talk you through. Oh, we've got 15 minutes. It's annoying because that there's just more overlocking to do, so it's not even that interesting. So I think it's better if we just I talk you through what to do in between now and tomorrow, because there's no point in you guys just sitting watching me overlock again, is there? That's a bit dull. Should have said this is still 1.5 centimetres or 5/8 of an inch. I guess we could start to prepare the sleeves, couldn't we? Okay, let's press that open. Now, if you are making a toile or if you're checking the fit, this is the point to do it for the bodice. Try them on. Remember, obviously, that the neckline will lose seam allowance. But there we are. We've created a little bodice already. So, what are we going to do next? Let's just have a look, because I think the sleeves, we go straight onto the skirt. So I think, guys, for the skirt, there are loads of panels, loads of straight seams. The hardest thing is getting the panels to, sorry, take this off. The hardest thing is getting the panels to work, like to remember which is which. So keep the, even after you've overlocked a piece, I would pin that pattern piece back to that skirt, that fabric piece, because otherwise when you get to the point where you're joining all these panels together, it gets very confusing and you waste a lot of time trying to work out what everything is. So just keep it pinned on there. I think we should sew everything together. So the only thing that you need to be careful of is you don't go all the way down the seam for the front slit. So it's got a slit at the front on the left side. So you need to stop at the notch for that one. Then you press all your seams open. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to get all your skirt panels and you're going to overlock them separately. Put your pin patterns back on so you know which they are. And then you're going to methodically work through and add each of the panels and build the skirt kind of around. Now, with this centre front panel here, when it joins the side front panel, there is a slit on the left hand side. So for that, you stop there at the notch. Once you've sewn everything together, you press open all your seams, and then at that slit you continue pressing over the open part of the seam so that that's ready. Now, I don't think, I hand stitched it. I don't know if it's saying to do that. Let's just quickly whiz down. Da, da, da. Oh, it's top stitch or top stitch it. Okay, so you finish it when you're doing the hem. So you can basically go from the down the slit around the hem and back up again. So, but you could do all that pressing. And then it means tomorrow we can just go straight into attaching this to the skirt. So we join it and then we can put our zip in and then we can do this. So that's what I'd like to be able to do in the Sewalong tomorrow. So I'm going to be less waffle, more focus. And it means we won't have a chance to do the sleeves. Whether or not you want to have a go at doing the sleeves before then, I often think it's easier to put your sleeves in at this stage because it's less kind of bulk on the machine. So put your sleeves in if you want to, if you've got time. I don't know if I'll have time, but if I do, I'll put them in. And then, we'll do those 3 elements, joining the waist seam, putting the zip in and doing this together. And then it's just, if you haven't done the sleeves it's pretty standard. There's nothing particularly difficult about the sleeves, and nor there is about the hem either. Okay, guys, thanks for, sorry, sleeves are hard. Sorry, Chantal, I do know that. I don't like doing them. Right, guys, thank you so much for joining. Sorry that I was a bit late. But I will try not to be tomorrow. Yeah, I look forward to finishing it off with you. And thanks to Alex for answering all your questions. And link to our coffee page as a miraculous appeared like that. Thank you guys. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.